Costa Rica.
Oh, I want to be in Costa Rica.
Yeah, I'm coming at you live, sort of.
Hey, Christine, hello.
Hello. How is everyone?
Doing well. That's funny.
And Carmen, are you done with your hiatus? Your traveling hiatus?
Oh, I am working. I have a new job.
Yes. Chris is way behind.
For the man.
I am. Last I heard, you were writing a book. It was going to be a thing.
I could be a CXR member.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Well, let's get the checkbook out. Let's make that happen.
Sounds good to me.
Who's she working for?
I'm working for a company called what the hell do I work for? Why did I lose my mind in the middle of people? I am working for a company that does. What the hell do we do? We do.
This is a great commercial.
This is a great commercial. This is for everyone. Right?
I hope you're not in charge of employer brand.
For Extra Hop, and we prevent cyber. We help secure your company assets through cybersecurity.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, are we ready? Are we ready to get going?
I think we're ready, Chris.
All right. I think we're ready. Christine, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
she doesn't know what to think. All right, here we go.
I was watching hearings and doing.
Welcome to the CXR channel, our premier podcast for talent acquisition and talent management. Listen in as the CXR community discusses a wide range of topics focused on attracting, engaging, and retaining the best talent. We're glad you're here.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another Career Crossroads podcast. I am excited to tell you I'm coming at you sort of live from Costa Rica today. So I'm sort of dialed in somewhat remotely. So if you hear some battling macaws in the background, that's what it is. It's not Jerry having a hard time or Barb struggling to get back online. But with that, I want to introduce. This is probably the most populated podcast that we have done yet. I just see we had somebody else pop into the green room also. So I'm going to slowly bring everybody in. Let's see here, the Jerry. And we've got Barb right there. And I'm going to bring in Carmen and Tara. Tara, it's wonderful to see you. I got somebody else in here. And then with that, I also want to introduce the guest of honor today. And that's Christine Brown. Christine, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
So I think we're doing quite wonderfully, but I think what we should probably do is just a little bit of a round robin for so folks who we're going to do you last, Christine, because we're just going to talk all about you for the next 15 minutes. But we're going to go around the room. I'm calling everybody in our little virtual room, and we can just give a quick heads up of who we are, what we do. I like to call it the escalator pitch. So you can watch how this is done. And Christine, you're going to be up next. How's that?
Great. Sounds great.
Jerry, why don't you kick us off?
Well, I'm a student, but a lifelong student, and I have no support really. But other than that, we're great. Life is good.
No support, zero support. So speaking of support, Barb, why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm feeling a little hurt by that comment, Jerry Crispin. So
no, I meant I didn't win. I didn't win any kind of contest for going to school. So it's okay.
So my name is Barb Reese, and I do not support Jerry Crispin, but I do support a lot of the other operations and marketing at Career Crossroads. But today I am wearing the hat of the chair of the scholarship committee for the CXR Foundation, and I'm super excited to have this conversation and meet our award winner for this year.
Absolutely. I love that. Carmen, how about yourself? Why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure thing. I'm Carmen Hudson, based outside of Seattle these days, and I lead talent acquisition at Extra Hop, and we provide cybersecurity for the world.
Good stuff. Congrats on the new gig, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. And Tara, how about yourself? It's been a minute since you've been on the show.
It is. Nice to see everyone again. Very nice to meet you, Christine. So my name is Tara Doyle. I work for Roche. I am based out of Indianapolis, and my role is head of recruiting for the Americas region. And I also was a member of the committee that helped with the scholarship. So I'm very excited to be here and very excited to meet you. Congratulations.
Love it. Good stuff. And then Curtis, before our guest, you get to be the last non-guest that's a guest.
Awesome. Thank you. Curtis Dorsey. I work for Salesforce as an engineering tech recruiting leader. I'm also based temporarily here in Indianapolis, soon to be Atlanta based, but also was part of the committee that was involved in the scholarship. So super excited to be here as well.
Oh, I love it. Good stuff. And then, of course, last but not least, Christine, our scholarship winner, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, but can you give us a little bit of an escalator pitch about who's Christine Brown?
Yes, I'm Christine Brown. I currently live in New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm a student at Southern New Hampshire University, and I also work for a nonprofit as a human resource specialist.
I love that. And Christine, I don't know if you know this, but you and I are actually related in a way.
Okay.
Did you?
That could be a stretch. I'm just saying.
Good.
Christine, you used to work at Frito-Lay, yes?
Yes, I did.
There you go.
I worked at PepsiCo. We are PepsiCo family. We are PepsiCo alum.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Wonderful place.
Good stuff. Yeah, it's really good stuff. So I'm so excited that you could be here. I know we've moved this around a couple of times on you, so we appreciate your patience and really working with us in your calendar. But to give a little bit of a backstory, the CXR Foundation has been around, I guess, informally and formally for about 2 years now. We kicked off with an initiative called Recruiters Recruiting Recruiters. It's one of the first things we were doing. Actually, I guess technically before that, we were doing CXR Cares. Yes. Which was an initiative that we would come in a little bit early to some of our CXR events, and at those events we would meet a day or so early to go to a shelter or a food pantry or a local community effort to try to build up the community there. And our members would volunteer and go with us, and we got some snappy T-shirts with that. That was always fun. But then that sort of matured a little bit, and we kicked it off formally last year. And then, of course, one of the first big things we did was this scholarship initiative where we're giving away a notable sum of money to a recipient that is somehow tied to the recruiting industry, the recruiting space. So I want to give it to the committee really quickly before we go any further and ask, is there anything I missed or that you maybe would add to that? No, I nailed it.
I think you did nail it, Chris. I was very excited. This is the second year that we've offered this scholarship, and we had almost 500 total applicants. We whittled that down and whittled it down and whittled it down. And then our committee, many of which are on this call, did a really nice job having some pretty lengthy phone conversations. And Christine, I have to tell you, every committee member that talked to you just came back glowing after hearing your story. So I think it was a pretty easy decision for everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So, Christine, one of the things the CXR Foundation is all about is community, right? So when we say community, I'm going to spring a question on you. So when we say community and we talk about community, what does that word mean to you? Does it stand out? Does it resonate with you a little bit?
Yes, community means togetherness, a collaborative effort to get things done. Actually, how I found the organization was because I was looking for organizations that really cared about social responsibility. And when I started researching you guys and saw what you were doing in the community, I was really excited and really passionate about that and about helping my community and just being all around a great person and a great leader and, showing that, you do care and we care, that people are still getting jobs. You guys give the food pantries, making sure that we eat, making sure that people eat is awesome, a great thing right now with all of the shortages. That's really important to what's going on as far as for economically and people struggling. So that really made me want to look more into the company, and I was excited about that.
I love it. Can you share a little bit about what you're studying, what you're working on in school?
Yes, I'm actually what I'm doing in school is human resource, but I'm also focusing on project management. I feel that human resource and project management is actually somewhat related because we all are working on projects. Like you can look at a project anywhere within your actual job that you're doing. You know, the project never continues, and human resource never continues. It's gonna always go on, and it's gonna always be a thing. So, you know, just learning about that, learn about organizational leadership and how to be a leader as an HR professional is really important to me. So that's, I'm pretty doing a dual degree, but it's really interesting and I'm learning a lot.
I love that. I love that. Is there something that you have in mind specifically when you graduate? I mean, is there an ideal? You got a couple of employers on here. Is there an ideal sort of a place of employment you'd like to land at?
Well, for me, it's not so much of a place. It's more of the actual environment. I really want to be at a place that can drive, I can grow continuously, and somewhere that I can bring my ideas to the table, and I'm not afraid to speak that. You know, companies say there's an open door policy, but when you get there, you don't experience that. So just the creative of thought, you know, making sure that I can bring my ideas, you know, to the, you know, up the chain of ladder. I know you're a CEO, Chris, so I know sometimes we don't really get a chance to reach out and touch you, employers and employees, as much as we would want to. But I would like for to be able to one day have lunch with the CEO. So that's more of what I'm looking for. It's not so much of a company, but it's more of a culture.
I love that. Well, what I'd like to do, Christine, is go through. I'm gonna put everybody in here on the spot, so not just you, but I want to ask everybody in here if there was something that stood out with regards to your application or that the interview that they conducted with you, and then we'll go from there. So Tara, I'm going to have to pick on you because you are the first in my little Brady Bunch lineup of people on the screen. So what was it about Christine? What got you kind of excited about selecting Christine as the scholarship winner?
Yeah, I think it was, and I know we didn't have a chance to connect directly, but it was really what was relayed in terms of the passion, the drive, the interest, and it even just came through in what you were just describing, with what you're looking for. Like there's something really special and unique, I think, with individuals that really have a clear idea of what they want, what they're going for, how to get there, overcoming obstacles, or even those, you know, somewhere it might be really super easy for them. But at the end of the day, having that fortitude, that's special. And not everyone has that with great success. And it came across not only in such a really brilliantly articulated way, but also where people wanted to follow immediately you. And that's really special and unique. So if I was to say it, I think that's it for me.
I love that. Carmen, I'm going to pick on you next.
Awesome. Well, I actually had the opportunity to interview Christine, and it was immediately apparent to me that she should be among the top tier of candidates that we had applying for the award. And then by the end of our conversation, it became apparent to me that she should win the entire award. And with over 500 applicants, I figured there would be a battle. So I had, a long list of here are the things, and I was ready to battle everyone. And when it came back that this was one of the choices, I'm like, this is way too easy. But it was obviously to me and to others that her passion for what we do, her passion for just having that ability to impact others and to share what she knows with others was just an incredible quality that I don't see in all the candidates that I interview, much less someone who is still in school. So it was pretty apparent to me who should win this, and I'm just glad that many of my colleagues agreed with me. I was ready to go to battle, though. I had a whole.
You were ready.
I was ready.
I have to say, I didn't get to do one of the interviews with Christine, but I did get the summary of the finalists as we went through them. And to me, as strong as every one of the candidates were, it was when I read it, it was kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all of them were great candidates. They really
were. The other woman that we talked to was just fantastic as well. I don't want to denigrate any of the candidates, anyone who's out there really going for their education to figure out how to break into this world. But there are some people who see very clearly the work that's ahead of them, and Christine's among them.
Absolutely. Curtis, how about yourself?
Yeah, I think the two things that stood out for me, and it also did come through loud and clear as Christine was just speaking, was first her passion for the space, and equally and almost more importantly, her interest in putting it to use on a much. It was not just about her. It was about, how do I put this to use for the greater good. And I think that when you talk about values, and what we do, that is such a big piece of why people are passionate about the space that we're in. And those are the couple of things that really just stood out to me. And we were all, I think, ready to battle, but agree with everything that was said before me, that it just really came through loud and clear, that she should be the winner. So congratulations. Good
stuff. And Barb, what would you add to that?
So I'm going to piggyback off of what Curtis said. It's just that it's that intangible. I will say, when it came down to our finalists, they were all very impressive individuals. But there was just something a little bit different when it came to Christine's story and what she plans to do with it. And for me, a lot of that had to do with even the work that she's doing right now in an organization that's serving the community. That's something that's obviously pretty dear to my heart. And it's something that, we've pushed a lot through the CXR Foundation. And it just felt like that synergy could not be ignored.
Yeah, well said. And Jerry, last but not least.
Well, I just love listening to this. I know I didn't have the opportunity to interview you, Christine. I'm so very sorry. I hope that, going forward, for all of us, there'll be an opportunity for us to follow that path, and see, and perhaps be of help to you as you grow. I love the fact that did you grow up in New Orleans?
Yes, born and raised.
You're born and raised? I love
Yes,
this.
I am.
It's my favorite city. I just go crazy when I go down to New Orleans, just between the food and the music and whatever. But there's not a lot of industry there, so you sort of have to find your own way a little bit. How did growing up in New Orleans inform your interests in getting into human resources?
I told a story once that it's pretty crazy. When I graduated with my bachelor's degree, I had a degree in entrepreneurship. So my mind frame was that if I want to be an entrepreneur, I better get down to understanding human resource, because it's the foundation to all industries. So in New Orleans, it's really complicated to actually find a job. We say that in human resource, people don't leave until they die. It's one of those things where you deal with a grandfather and just not having a lot of experience. And the thing is, I waited 7 years to actually get a human resource role. I worked in many organizations that I had actual transferable skills, but now I'm actually in the HR role. So I just stayed committed to it. I believe that if it's something you want to do, it may take you a while, but you just can't give up. And it's working out for me right now, and I'm really excited about the work that I'm doing in the community. And my current job, we were really affected by Hurricane Ida. Basically, one of the buildings I work at was totally destroyed. So and just going through that, and after Katrina, and experiencing that, and now experiencing that in a total another city, but still in Louisiana, it's like, really, the community really needs us. And as human resource professionals, people look to us for jobs. They look to us for help and aid. So it's just been working out for me. And like I said, I stayed committed to it. And I just love HR. It's always something new. It's always something to learn. Even when it comes down to employment law, and recruiting is also interesting, because it's so many different ways now with technology that you can recruit someone. And all of these different platforms that we're using, and how technology is going to grow human resource. Oh, it's interesting. It's fun.
Well, I think cool. We're gonna have to do a cut of that. We'll come back and have a minute where you said recruiting is interesting. We're gonna change that to the best. Christine,
I also think that as you continue your studies and everything, and your work, if you want, identify some of the companies that are in New Orleans or trying to contribute to New Orleans that might be the kind of place where that culture could exist for the long term, and let us know a little bit about it, because we can maybe beat a door down and make sure that you get a chance to interview there.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I was going to say.
100%. I double down on that.
Yeah, well, you didn't know it was going to be a love fest today when we invited you. But I will tell you, and this is my hair club for men. Barb's heard me say it a million times, but I was a member before I was the president at CXR, and what Jerry had founded here, and so many of us have been part of. Thousands of people have been part of. It truly is a family. And I would say it's just a fun community and a way to give. And we're just so excited to pull you into that. So now you and I have this PepsiCo family thing going, which feels really good. I feel really good about that. But now you've expanded that family a little bit with this connection through the CXR Foundation. And I'm just so excited. If you are ever in Austin, please call me. We'll do the dinner. I know Jerry's going to say, I beat you to it, Jerry, but Jerry was going to say the same thing for the New York area. I'll bet it stands the same for everybody else. And I'm sure we can find a cool place to go to dinner in New Orleans.
Oh, yes. I can bring you to some of the best places. Great food.
I'll bet she can bring us to some of the places we had never thought about.
No, I'm going to bring you
to.
to.
Have it.
Right. I'm going to bring you to some of the places that are the locals. And, the quarters are great, but there are some local places that's outstanding.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's go.
I know.
What Christine doesn't know is if you say that to Jerry gets in his Airstream and he shows up in 2 days.
I will be showing up down there. Just Christine, I will be showing up.
Oh, man. Well, look, I just want to give just a quick shout out to the CXR Foundation, all the people behind the scenes that help to make that work. And there are a tremendous amount of people. There's not just the board of directors, the volunteers that are a piece of that. We do several different projects. I am so grateful for everybody that does that enables us to do a $10,000 scholarship every year and continue this. Christine, I want to say congrats again. And I hope you'll point you and your colleagues over to CXR.Foundation to find out more.
Yes, we'll do.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. With that, I guess we're out. Everybody say goodbye.
Bye,
guys.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to the CXR channel. Please subscribe to CXR on your favorite podcast resource and leave us a review while you're at it. Learn more about CXR at our website, cxr.works, facebook.com and twitter.com/careercrossroads, and on Instagram @careerxroads. We'll catch you next time.